Hello children, it is me, McGrouch, and these enemies are getting too close to me. I don't like it, they're in my bubble. I don't appreciate having people in my bubble. It's why I'm the inventor of the impact anti-proximity tech. Just pull the pin and wait for the results, works every time. But for whatever reason, it seems to keep getting me kicked. My best guess, they're jealous of my drip. ChatGPT's best guess, I'm dying too much. But if I can't use my own expendability as a weapon, then what weapons do I have when the enemies close in? The melee weapons lack a certain combustiveness, and the SMGs lack a certain carnage. The only option we have left then, shotguns. But oh, woe is me, there are too many shotguns. There's like 6 of them. Ugh, how are we gonna figure out which one I should take? Simple, I'll make a tier list. In this game, shotguns can be defined on 2 different axes: flaming to not flaming, pump to auto. This, in the top left, is the Punisher. It is what you think of when you first hear the words shotgun. It features a pump action and 16 rounds in the mag. It puts holes in things at distances both near and slightly less near. At times, you might be engaged at medium ranges. At these times, you might die. The recommended strategy is just to be way fucking closer to the enemies than you probably should ever go, but you don't need my advice. You have a shotgun. You have a 10 gauge 30 hole punch, and even if the first shot doesn't do it, it will allow you to hit another, and another, until eventually you do hit something vital, because each shot has an incredibly high amount of stagger, allowing for plenty of time to line up a follow-up shot. It's a solid option, but it's not my favorite. B tier. Similar to the Punisher, but not exactly the same, is the Cookout. It is identical to the Punisher in nearly every single way, except it lights things on fire. This flammability comes at the expense of damage, but not of stun ability. Hitting a shot with this gun still allows for easy follow-ups. While the fire is a welcome addition, the Punisher is not really the platform to make fire shine. When it comes to fire weapons, the key factor we look for is how much fire does it make, and given this gun's pump action limitations, the answer here is not much. Though the shot pattern of this gun is more spread out than with the original Punisher. This is still far too manual. It's like trying to light enemies on fire by rubbing 2 sticks together. It's never gonna be the best fire-making option, especially when measured against some of the other options we have later on down the list. D tier. Next, we have the Slugger. If you were using the Punisher and thought, man, I like this gun, but I would like it more if it were a sniper, then the Slugger is for you. The Slugger takes all the things that makes the Punisher nice and doubles down on them. Punisher has tight spread, this gun has no spread. Punisher has high damage, this has higher damage. Punisher has level 2 pen, baby, this is level 3 pen. I would go on, but I'm out of things to list. Once again, the stun has stayed untouched from the original Punisher, and this gun benefits immensely from it. If you miss your first shot, don't worry. The stun will allow for a follow-up shot, and the level 3 armor pen will do damage besides. But just because this can do damage to armor doesn't mean you should stop going for weak spots. Oh no! This is a weapon best used by people who are precise. This does not throw a bunch of lead down range, it throws a lump of lead down range. You take this when the situation calls for a rifle, but your heart calls for a shotgun, because it has the damage of both of them. The level 3 armor pen and high damage make this an absolute menace when it comes to dealing with all 3 factions. The only question is, how accurate are you? A tier. The final pump shotgun is the SG-29 Hull. Proof that you can have your cake and shoot it too. This is definitely the most versatile of all the shotguns. When your friends are yelling at you to hurry up and make a decision in the loadout menu, this is the gun you're gonna want to take. It has a real Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing going on, except both sides are the monster. This is the only shotgun that allows you to choose between 2 different ammo types. The flechette, which have level 3 armor pen, and the stun round, which stuns a lot. You break out the flechettes when you find yourself surrounded by medium enemies. You break out the stun ammo when you are about to be overrun by enemies. See the difference? Ordinarily, I would criticize this gun for being a compromise, but it's not really a compromise. It just does 2 things well. I like it. Maybe my favorite shotgun for bots. A tier. This brings us to the automatic side of the table, which are all variations of the base breaker. This is a fully automatic shotgun, and it does its job as one pretty goddamn well. You aim this in the vague direction of an enemy's weak spot, and if they are close enough to you, you hold down the trigger until they're dead. If they are too far away, you will hold down the trigger until you are out of ammo. This is not a precision instrument. It fills an area with projectiles until your target stops moving or you run out of ammo. At times, you may be tempted to use this as an ADS weapon. My piece of advice? Don't. Where the pump action variants have a high amount of stagger to each shot, the breaker variants don't. And since a near miss won't leave the enemy unable to act for a few seconds, precision is not worth the opportunity cost. Just spray in an area and hope you get a kill. But don't pray. This is a purely secular gun. If you want a gun appropriate for the papacy, then you'll have to wait for our next gun. As for this one, B tier. The Breaker Spray and Pray is a weapon of sheer saturation. When you put your crosshair over an enemy with this, it is not a question of if you will hit, it is how much you will hit. And unfortunately, it is rarely enough to really deal with the issue. Maybe I haven't been praying hard enough, but I will tell you this. When you dump an entire mag into the Stalker Horde in front of you and only see 2 of them go down, you begin to wonder whether or not there really is a god out there watching us. This is not a Breaker Spray and Pray, this is a Breaker Crisis of Faith. Using it will have you doubting every preconceived notion you held about firearms up to this point. And not in a good way. While it is certainly efficient for taking out large groups of hunters, when it comes to virtually anything else, this weapon just falls a bit short. D tier. Finally, we arrive. You know it, you love it, it is arguably the best bug gun in the entire goddamn game. The Breaker Incendiary. What makes this such an exceptional weapon in its field? Is it the fact that it's a shotgun? Is it the fact that it's incendiary? Yes, but unlike the other incendiary weapon we've looked at, this gun is able to take full advantage of its fire capabilities because it is semi-automatic. Not semi-automatic, as in only one shot at a time. Semi-automatic, as in it can only shoot in bursts on account of how fucking hot it gets. That's the reason it says on the weapon page, at least. The faster firing nature of this gun gives it a notable advantage over its pump action counterpart because it means that this gun can blanket an entire horde in a fraction of the time it would take the Cookout. From there, you can run away and wait until it's time to reapply the fire effect. This gun is great when it comes to kiting bugs. And, though there have been some attempts to supplant it, this remains the best incendiary primary we have. S tier. Now that you know all the types of primary shotguns, let's discuss the 2 non-primary shotguns. The break action shotgun is a map pickup weapon, and it is not very good. You can switch between single barrel or both barrel firing. Both are kinda bad. The other shotgun is the secondary shotgun pistol. It is also kind of bad, and it also allows you to switch between all or single barrel firing. The issue with these guns is they don't really address what their category of weapon needs to be. In your third weapon slot, you want something that can deal with tanks, not a stinky double barrel shotgun. And as your secondary, you want a gun that can get an entire group off you. The sawed-off just has a hard time doing that. Now let's discuss the loadout that you ought to be taking if you have a shotgun as your primary. For a secondary, I would recommend a grenade launcher. Listen, the shotgun, it's gonna take care of hordes that are right there, right in front of you. What you need is something that can take care of hordes way, way over there. And for that, there is no substitute for explosives. For your support weapon, EAT. For your backpack, take whatever you want. And then finally, I'd grab a 500 kg and an orbital laser. Just because I feel like those are the most universally useful stratagems that you can grab. But hey, that's just me. If you have a better loadout, leave a comment. So, those are the shotguns. They come in many variations, but they all have roughly the same strategy. Make whoever is standing next to you, not. Even if some variations are better at that strat than others, we can all agree that it is one of the most fun weapon types to use. Give it a try the next time you play. Bye.
Subscribe to Cookout. 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 Subscribe to Cookout.